Good morning, everybody. We'll call to order our November 19th, 2019 regular meeting of the Mason County Board of Commissioners. Begin with our Pledge of Allegiance. Tom Davis, you please lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 3, if the clerk will please take roll.
Commissioner District 1, Randy Netherland.
I'm here.
Commissioner District 2, Kevin Schutte.
Here.
And Commissioner District 3, Sharon Trask is absent today.
Very good, thank you. Item number 4, correspondence and organizational business. Item 4.1, if the clerk will please report the correspondence.
Stephen Rose sent in an application for the Historic Preservation Commission, and the Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board sent in a request for a special occasion liquor license on behalf of the Hawkins Middle School PTSA.
Very good, thank you. Item number 5, open forum for citizen input. It's an opportunity for members of the public to address the commission on items not on today's agenda. If you have a comment to make, please raise your hand. The chair will recognize you. Come forward to the podium, state your name, and make your comment. Tom?
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. Tom Davis. There was some discussion about, I believe I heard it right, about moving the adoption of the agenda, of the budget, the 2020 budget back a bit. I think that's what I understood. So it wouldn't be adopted on December 2nd. If I heard that correctly, I would be in strong support of that, simply because, for obvious reasons, the more you deal with actuals, the more accurate you will be. The whole budget is basically forecasted at some point, and you don't even know what the December actuals would be. And maybe if you adopt it on December 2nd, you probably don't know much about the November actuals. So the more facts that you deal with, the better it is. Also, it gives an opportunity for things that had not been anticipated to show up in the form of that might wind up to be supplemental appropriations that would not have to be if they were included into the budget. In 2014, and Commissioner Netherland probably remembers that day, we were here both on Christmas Eve, which was my wife and I anniversary for 31 years. We were here during the budget negotiations, and we were here on New Year's Eve for the budget negotiations. I'm not saying to push it back till New Year's Eve, but I'm just saying that the further back you could push it, the more accurate it will obviously become. So I hope you'll consider that for those practical reasons. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Any additional public comment? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to item number 6, adoption of today's agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move for adoption of today's agenda with a change, just to read. What is that here? I can't read this right.
To amend item 8.3 on the action agenda for our claims clearing fund, the amount should read $1,042,235.16, not $32,016,218.64.
So with that change, I move for approval of today's agenda.
And I'll second that. It's been moved and seconded to adopt today's agenda as amended. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? And the motion carries. Moving on to item number 7, approval of minutes. There are minutes from November 5th, 2019's regular meeting.
Mr. Chair, I move for approval of the regular meeting minutes for November 5th, 2019.
I'll second that. It's been moved and seconded to approve the November 5th, 2019 regular meeting minutes. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? The motion carries. Moving on to item number 8, approval of today's action agenda. Commissioners will read through the items on today's action agenda, at which time a commissioner or a member of the public may ask to have an item removed for a separate discussion and vote. Commissioner Netherland, if you'd please take items 8.1 and 2, and I will take 8.3 and 4.
Gladly. Mr. Chairman, item number 8.1, approval to have the chair sign a letter of no objection for a special occasion liquor license application on behalf of Hawkins Middle School PTSA for an event on November 22nd, 2019 at the Hub Senior Center in Belfair. Item number 8.2, approval to set a public hearing on Tuesday, December 10th, 2019, 9:15 a.m. to consider approval of budget supplemental appropriations and amendments to the 2019 budget.
Item 8.3, approval of warrants and treasurer electronic remittances. Claims Clearing Fund warrant numbers 8068041 through 8068267 in the amount of $1,042,235.16. Direct Deposit Fund warrant numbers 63408 through 63793 in the amount of $669,947.12. And Salary Clearing Fund warrant numbers 7004791 through 7004826 in the amount of $949,886.54. And item 8.4, approval to set a public hearing on Tuesday, December 10th at 9:15 a.m. to consider updating Mason County smoking policy in Mason County Code, Title II, Chapter 2, as well as Chapter 9. Having read through the items on today's action agenda, are there any items that a commissioner would like to have removed for a separate discussion and vote? Okay, hearing none, are there any items a member of the public would like to have removed for a separate discussion and vote?
Mr. Chair, 8.4 for a comment, please.
Okay, we will remove 8.4 for a separate discussion and vote. I would entertain a motion on the remaining items on the action agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move for approval of the action agenda, removing item number 8.4 for a separate vote, please.
I will second that. Moved and seconded to approve items 8.1 through 3 on the action agenda, holding 8.4 for a separate discussion and vote. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? And the motion carries. Moving on to item 8.4, approval to set a public hearing on Tuesday, December 10th at 9:15 a.m. to consider updating Mason County smoking policy in Mason County Code Title II, Chapter 2, as well as Chapter 9. This was a conversation that originated at our Board of Health meeting a couple of months ago as we discussed improvements to our code to include parity with state vaping code to prohibit explicitly vaping in public places here in the county, on county property and in parks and that kind of thing. So this is simply to set the hearing to consider that amendment. And so that's what we're moving forward with. Any questions? Okay, we'll move into public comment. Again, if you'd like to make comment, come forward.
Thank you, and thank you for bringing this onto the agenda. I happened to be in the room when the discussion happened at the public health meeting, and I thought it was a great idea. And I think the reason I want to just comment briefly is that I think it requires special attention both now and at the hearing process, that the county is sensitive to things that are changing. Different products come online. We need to be very flexible how we address these things and how we look at them in terms of both business and health. This is the changing world, and it goes real fast now. So I was very pleased that it was discussed, and then the next meeting it was put on the table, and here it is now for consideration. So thank you for that, and I'll have more to say when we actually have the hearing.
Very good, thank you. Any other public comment? Okay, hearing none, we'll close public comment, move to commissioner deliberation or a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to set a hearing date for Tuesday, December 10th, 9:15 a.m. to consider updating Mason County smoking policy in Mason County Code Title II, Chapter 2, as well as Chapter 9.
I'll second that. It's been moved and seconded to set a public hearing on Tuesday, December 10th at 9:15 a.m. to consider updating Mason County smoking policy in Mason County Code Title II, Chapter 2, as well as Chapter 9. Any discussion? Just one quick thing to point out. Appreciate public health's effort on some of the changing vaping issues that we're seeing. I know that our health staff is working hard to do education and outreach in order to get the word out on some of the dangers, and you know, we've come a long way on smoking over the past several decades, and this is the new frontier, I think, on that same plane. So appreciate your work on that. Any additional discussion? Okay, hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the motion carries. Moving on to item number 9, other business. Any department heads or electeds to address the commission? Okay, hearing none, move on to 10. We have no public hearings, so we'll move on to item number 11, our board reports and calendars. I'll just go first. It'll be pretty brief. One item from last week. We had a productive, I think, meeting with the city of Shelton last week to talk about our joint lobbying agreement that the commission has passed and that the city council will be taking action on tonight. I'm encouraged about the beginnings of that conversation. I think there's still a little bit more work to do, but I look forward to the city council adopting that in a spirit of collaboration tonight. And so I'm looking forward to watching that vote. Going forward this week, I'll be heading out here after our meeting to Spokane to represent the county on the risk pool, which is our insurance, as well as attending some of the Washington State Association of Counties meetings that are being held jointly this year. So pretty simple calendar for me. Back on Monday.
We had our briefings, the Mason Transit pre-agenda meeting. We had our budget meeting and our meeting with the city, as was just commented on. Olympic Regional Clean Air Authority, meeting of the Economic Development Council, our audit committee. The fire department for the celebration of the passing of the bond. That's a big thing, and I want to thank you, Commissioner Schutte, for having the ability to look out to the future and help put us in this position to where we may have something very wonderful for North Mason and the possibility of maybe even bringing services back there. It wouldn't have happened without your support on that, without a
Well,
doubt.
I appreciate that, and I'm excited to see the plans as they come together and have more conversations with the fire authority. And I know that it's a win for the fire authority and the community in North Mason for sure. So
Everybody. But again, it wouldn't have happened without your support on that. John Kennedy passed away at his celebration of life. The Kennedy family up there is actually a legend for the North Mason community. Then we had our briefings. I met with, this next week, I'm meeting with many constituents again. I made that post and it's going crazy. I can't eat more lunches. It's getting on top of crazy. North Mason Chamber of Commerce Board meeting, another audit committee meeting, a meeting of the ARC of Kitsap Mason counties, and we'll be serving turkey to our developmentally disabled membership, and at the dance. A celebration of life for another hero in the North Mason region is coming up this Sunday. His name is Bill Geyer. You know who he is. His reputation goes back many, many years. I've coached over 1,000 kids, and the funny thing is Bill Geyer's the one that taught me how to coach. He put on a clinic to teach us way back when. That's a long time ago. Briefings, North Mason Community Voice, and brings us back again for our work.
very good. Thank you, Commissioner. Having reached the end of our agenda, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chair, I move we adjourn.
We're adjourned. Have a good day, everybody.